Our nation's capital should not and must not be a place where evil comes to commit violence, whatever their cause or motive may be. We should not have to live in fear in the nation's capital, especially by one who came here from a foreign country.
Judge Jeanine Pirro there, and then as a result, President Trump directing this review of every Afghani national who was allowed into our country under the botched Afghan troop withdrawal under the Biden administration. You may remember back then, Press Secretary Jen Psaki, she defended the operation. Let's listen to that.
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process.
She assured us, Tom. Let's start with you.
Yeah, some assurance, and we're seeing the sad realities and the tragic realities of the failed Biden regime, and that goes back to Russia-Ukraine war as well. Russia never would have invaded Ukraine if President Trump was in office. Biden was there, Autopen Biden was there, and Russia took advantage of that. And the same thing goes with the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. Who knows how many Afghanis have those sorts of evil intent because they were not vetted when they came in. They just threw people on planes and carted them over here, and now we're seeing the tragic consequences.
Fred Fleitz, your take.
I agree with all that, but I wanted to say something about these National Guard troops. We're hearing on liberal networks that the president shouldn't have put them in Washington, that they were at unnecessary risk. I'd like to point out that Governor Hochul deployed National Guard troops to the New York subway last year. I've seen them. I ride the New York subway. These National Guard troops are heroes. They have drastically reduced crime in Washington, D.C. I'm glad President Trump is bringing more of them. And look, if these troops were not there, this gunman would have been shooting at civilians and policemen. It's a terrible situation, but I really salute these men and women for their bravery and their commitment to our country.
Well, speaking of that, Fred, the president is doubling down last night when he had his comments from Mar-a-Lago. Here he is.
We will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city. We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice.
Tommy's directing more troops, not fewer.
Well, absolutely, because safety and security should be the primary goal of our government. And sadly, it's not, especially in those blue cities. We know the D.C. crime rate has plummeted since National Guard troops were deployed there, as well as in Memphis, Tennessee. There's a lot of good going on, and you're doubling down on something that is good for the American people. The National Guard troops, they're heroes. They are trained to deal with things in the states. And I've seen it, to Fred's point, in New York City. I've seen it in Grand Central Station. The deterrence is really formidable, and it's necessary, unfortunately, in these blue cities.
We also heard this morning at this press briefing, gentlemen, from Kash Patel, the FBI director. He said that the shooter may have had ties to forces in Afghanistan actively. Listen to that.
There is confirmation now that the subject had a relationship in Afghanistan with partner forces. We are fully investigating that aspect of his background as well, to include any known associates that are either overseas or here in the United States.
So, Fred, we're not talking about cells, in some third world nation. We're talking about searching out and seeking out sleeper cells in this country.
This has happened before. I'm sure this individual wasn't vetted before he came in. When his 2-year probationary status in the U.S. was up, I'm sure the Biden administration didn't investigate him. It's so sad that we're still suffering from the incredible incompetence of Joe Biden, and that Americans are dying because of Joe Biden's incompetence. And this is one reason why I think we have to recognize elections matter.
Newsmax contributor Tom Borelli and Fred Fleitz, former CIA analyst and current vice chair of the America First Policy Institute. Gentlemen, we really appreciate your take on a difficult day indeed. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you.